Okay, so thank you for tuning into this. This potentially a little bit niche, I don't know, but I am now going to attempt to go through my Mad magazines. I haven't got masses. Basically, I've got 44 Mad magazine issues. So you might have seen a previous video where I talked about the paperback books I've got. I've got about 47, I think 47 or 48, or I did in that video. I've actually also bought 4 more. So as you can see here, I'll just put these up first. There's Son of Mad, which is one of the really early ones, and the condition's fantastic. And the Ides of Mad, again, amazing condition, another early one. All these 4 are actually really early, and Utterly Mad, and The Bedside Mad. So these do go back to the 50s. These books go back to the 50s, which is pretty impressive and very exciting. So I was very pleased to see them. Because I collect this stuff, I'm not necessarily going to like everything in it. And I've had waves of collecting the stuff. So I was really pleased to see these in particularly good condition, because it meant I could get all excited about it. But I feel like I've probably got most of the paperbacks I'm going to find. But I've got these magazine issues. So let's go through them. I'll go from most recent to old, because that might make sense. So there's a big gap between the top 2. So this first one is actually from 2000, August 2000. But it's got a lot of the people that have always been involved. And there's some things in there about David Letterman. And there's a parody there of Angel. And you can see it's Angelo Torres. It's funny because when I last bought the batch of Mad magazines that I bought, I was commenting about the artists that are in it. And the guy was like, "Oh, you know your stuff." And I thought, well, I do know these illustrators, because these guys, it's worth me saying actually, before I go too into details about these issues, that I am a huge fan of the illustrators. That is the big thing that makes me want to have them. So I'm big fan of caricatures in general, and Mort Drucker I think is the best one, but Angelo Torres is really good, to be fair, and loads of them have Angelo Torres stuff in there. Those are the 2 big ones, but there's a few others. Jack Davis is another big one, and his stuff's quite good. They're very distinctive, the 3 of those, Jack Davis, Angelo Torres and Mort Drucker, very, very distinctive. But I can tell a Mort Drucker picture from a mile off. But I love those. But I also love Sergio Aragonés a lot. I've talked about him a bit on the channel already, and I love what he does. And he's got stuff all over all of these issues, because not only does he have these special strip cartoons in there, but he also has the Mad Marginals, where he's got little cartoons in the margins. So Sergio Aragonés stuff is brilliant, and I love the Antonio Proias's Spy vs Spy series. I love the Spy vs Spy series. That's awesome as well. And there's Don Martin's crazy stuff as well. That's usually kind of quite slapsticky. So, you know, that is what I'm kind of bouncing off a lot here. But I'll hopefully show you some of that stuff as we go along. So, yeah, this is from the year 2000. So this is definitely the most recent thing I've got, because it's harder to find Mad stuff now. And obviously it's not even a paper thing anymore, I don't think. I think they still do specials. But then the one underneath that is from May 1993. And that's one where we've got a parody of Dracula. Just going to take it out of the case. We got parody of Dracula, and you know, again, more sort of Spy versus Spy stuff. The Dracula parody, you can see it's Mort Drucker, and he's just such a fantastic way of drawing. You know, I love it so much that for me it's worth the money just for the caricatures. And then you've got Under Siege. You've got an Under Siege parody as well, and here you got Angelo Torres. So then the next one is from August 92, and as you can see, you've got a Batman cover, and you've got Batman Returns, and Batman Returns is one of my favourite films. So that's pretty cool that you've got a parody there of Batman Returns. I wouldn't say they're quite as... You can tell who it is, but I don't think these characters are quite as good for some reason. I don't think he's quite as good at doing You can't do Michelle Pfeiffer as well. That could be anybody. But yeah, some really good stuff here. And then you've got so you've got a longer thing here from Sergio Aragonés, A Mad Look at Cooking. And as you can see, you've got these strip cartoons there. And then you've also got another Mort Drucker caricature here of Bugsy. So that's the Warren Beatty film, and I mean, he looks amazing there. So yeah, clearly Mort Drucker can do. I mean, he's actually saying that kind of face, that kind of bone structure, is what Mort Drucker's really good at. And then you've got one here, which is June '92. And you've got a parody of the Addams Family. So that's done really well. Again, that's another Mort Drucker one. And, you know, he's just so good. And the Ad Nauseum Family. And you've got some parodies of, like, you know, like sort of observational stuff. Never works, but you got to try. More Spy vs. Spy. So this is Spy vs. Spy. So this is literally the white spy and the black spy trying to kill each other. But the humour comes from how they do it. And the lighter side of Dave Berg's ongoing series, the lighter side of, they're usually observational stuff. Pretty good. Quite reliable. Makes you smile. The next one is from October 1990. And that's Gremlins 2, another one of my favourite films, with also a parody of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there as well. And again, this is Mort Drucker. You can see Gremlins 2, The New Botch. So obviously, New Batch, New Botch is a classic kind of wordplay thing that Mad Magazine would do. Got a special appearance from Donald Trump there. He can draw Phoebe Cates better than he can draw Michelle Pfeiffer. Interesting observation. You've got what else have you got? So you'll see more Sergio Aragonés there. I just love the way Sergio Aragonés draws. And then you've got the parody of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And more Dave Berg. So that's that one. There's the June 1991, and that one has got Back to the Future Part 2 in it. So that's quite a cool one to have. Bleak for the Future Part 2. And another Mort Drucker special. And you can see the first panel. You've got two characters from Peanuts there, which is cool. Well, four people from Peanuts. And E.T. joke there. So there's that one. And then I've got October 1989. And that's Ghostbusters 2. Again, Mort Drucker. Bill Murray looks awesome there. You can tell. I mean, you can tell he's so good. You can definitely tell who's who. I'm not so sure it's as obvious with Sigourney Weaver, but maybe he's got a problem with drawing women. I don't know. But yeah, that's Ghostbusters 2. Okay, this is a parody of a very like a special that came out on ABC, the ABC mystery movie, presumably, because it's a misery movie. And you've got Columbo and Magnum being parodied here. There's also another character there, but I don't know who that is a parody of. I'll have to read that. I haven't read that. Quite an important character by the looks of it. Maybe you can tell me in the comments. And then more Dave Berg. There's that one. This one is from September 1989, and it's the first Batman film. Or the first Tim Burton Batman film. Again, it's another Mort Drucker one. Fantastic illustrations here. And yeah, it's a particularly good one, I think, that one. And you've got some more Spy vs. Spy. And it looks like it ends on Dave Berg. Yeah, it ends on Dave Berg again. Then you've got July 1989, and this one's got twins being parodied with, again, Mort Drucker being the illustrator. And then right at the end there on the other end, you've got Working Girl, called Lurking Girl, with Angela Torres. And then more Spy versus Spy. And again, more Sergio Aragonés. It's a mad look at self-defense. Okay, so the next one is June 1989. And this is a parody of Roseanne. Another Mort Drucker one, with some great caricatures in it. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because it's quite a self-referential show anyway. But more Sergio Aragonés. More Spy versus Spy. There's another mad fold in there, which... Has it been done? Yeah, it's been done. So that's what it looks like when it's folded. So I'll just show you what the mad foldings are like. So the question is, what is constantly reaching record heights? And then it's got sort of this sort of rocket image. And then you fold it. And then new sneaker prices. Yeah, there we go. So it's a little joke. You see it afterwards, but when you're looking at it, you don't see that it's going to be a sneaker. So there we are. There's that. And then this was a particularly the English one, presumably, because it's Blue Peter and Tomorrow's World being parodied, which I doubt if that was true for the American version. So Blue Peter was a big institution over here. It's actually been done together. I really don't like the artwork here, though. That happened a few times. Sometimes they had UK artists, and they just weren't very good. So I didn't like that so much when they did that. But then you have got Sergio Aragonés again here, and you have got Angela Torres there for the 21 Jump Street parody. So then you've got January 1989. And this is Roger Rabbit, another one of my favourite films. And this is quite a fun parody. Who defamed Roger Rabbit, with Angela Torres being the artist. And clearly, he'd have to be a very good artist at drawing cartoon characters as well as human caricatures. So that's pretty good. And then you've got, at the end, you've got Coming to America, that's called Numbing to America. The caricaturist isn't too bad. Not as good as the other two main ones, but that's Sam Viviano. Sam Viviano's been in a couple of these already. In March 88, you've got a Michael Jackson cover, but you've got RoboCop being parodied. Again, Mort Drucker one, Robo Slop. And then you've got Don Martin's cartoons often ended the issues. But you've got that. You've got a parody of the song Bad by Michael Jackson. Song parodies were quite a frequent thing as well, certainly in the 80s ones. So yeah, that's that one. And then you've got, in September 87, there's a Crocodile Dundee one. So I'm assuming that was a thing in the American one as well. You've got Mort Drucker doing the illustrations. He's very good for this, and he's very good at drawing Paul Hogan's wife there. Clearly better than Sigourney Weaver there. Lots more of the regular people doing their little bits as well. Celebrities in space. You've got like George Lucas and David Letterman, Joan Collins, Joan Rivers, all these people that are illustrated by Mort Drucker again. This one is from August 87. Oh, it's like a general TV parody when American TV programs are shown in Russia. Illustrated by Angelo Torres. That's a little bit of a dated one, but you know, I'm sure people aren't fans of Russia at the moment. This one is from July 87, and this is Alf, but it's called Arful. And again, Mort Drucker's doing fantastic work. And a Price is Right parody called The Price is Trite. And that is the UK presenter. So that's probably just for the UK version of Mad. This one features a parody of The Colour of Money called The Colour of Monotony. And the artist for this is Mort Drucker again. Another Mort Drucker one. Here drawing a young Tom Cruise. More Dave Berg. This is another parody, but this time this is Perfectly Strange, which is a parody of Perfect Strangers. And again, Angelo Torres is the illustrator. You got another great film parodied here, War of the Roses. This is July 1990. And I don't know if you've seen this film. I definitely recommend it. It's a fantastic film. The Gore of the Roses. Look at this fantastic Mort Drucker work here with the just like the three main people drawn brilliantly by Mort Drucker. Such a great caricaturist. And then you've got Coach being parodied as well at the end there. We had Coach on our channels, so I do know what that show is. It was quite big when it came out. So you got Coach there with illustrations by Angelo Torres again. Okay, next one is August 1986, and that's got a parody of Golden Girls, which is illustrated by Angelo Torres. And there's also more Mort Drucker work, because they got this thing, Mad's Wrestling Promoter of the Year, and he illustrates that. But then there's lots of work from the other regular guys. So, you know, you're guaranteed to see the illustrators that you like. And there's this one is July 1986, and that's a Moonlighting parody. Do you remember Moonlighting? Yeah, Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. It's Mort Drucker again, and fantastic illustration work. I remember this made me chuckle when it came out. You've got at the end, you've got all the normal stuff, and then you've got some general parodies of Rambo and Rocky there. This is one, for some reason I remember getting this from the shop. It's got some really clear memory for some reason. This is from March 86, and this has got a parody of Miami Vice. Again, that's Mort Drucker's work. And then a parody of Murder, She Wrote with Angelo Torres doing these great Angela Lansbury caricatures with all the main people around the rest of it. Don Martin, Dave Berg, and Spy vs. Spies stuff as well. This one is from December 85, and that's Rambo being parodied. And for this one, so that's the second one, and that's called Dumbo, More Blood Part 2. And again, that's Mort Drucker doing the illustration. I remember actually when I was developing caricature skills myself, when I used to caricature teachers and stuff, I used to kind of copy. I remember copying the Richard Crenna caricature and like developing that kind of style of caricature, and I was really into that myself for a while. I haven't done caricatures for a long time, but I am a amateur budding cartoonist for my sins. But yeah, there's all these other ones here as well, and then Night Court is also parodied there. It's called Nut Court. And then next one here is September 84, and that's the first Gremlins one. So again, it's another Mort Drucker caricature. So it's really cool. More Don Martin, more Dave Berg, and then Cheers. I absolutely love Cheers. One of my favourite shows, and that's called Beers. And again, Angelo Torres is the illustrator for those ones. Really good. You can really tell who's who in that. So that's all good. And then you've got one which is from February 84, and that's War Games. So I don't know if you remember that film. It was big at the time, but nobody really talks about it anymore. Warped Games is the name they've given it, and that's Mort Drucker again. And again, you get the regular people like Dave Berg, Spy vs. Spy, Mad Marginals, and a Don Martin cartoon strip as well. January 84, you've got TJ Hooker being parodied. So you've got the Shatner being caricatured there by Angela Torres. And then you've also got Mad's Video Game Arcade Owner of the Year there. More Angela Torres. This is one which is the December 1983 Superman 3. Again, I have vivid memories of getting this from the shop. So this is Superman 3, Stuperman ZZZ. Again, more Mort Drucker caricatures here. And then you've got a Spy vs. Spy. You've got, at the end, you've got square pegs and square dregs. And I remember when I was reading that, I didn't have a clue what the original thing was. But I remember it. And you got Archie Bunker, Christmas Carol O'Connor, so like a parody on Archie Bunker as well in the middle. This is a very special one because this is Return of the Jedi from November 83. So this is good because it's got Return of the Jedi in it, again illustrated by Mort Drucker, and it's got the A-Team. So huge cultural things. Rehash of the Jetty is the Return of Jedi parody, and then you've got Dave Berg and Don Martin, as you would expect, all those kind of people. But then you've also got the A-Team there parodied with more Drucker illustrations, which is pretty cool. This one is from September 83, and this is definitely UK based because you've got a parody of Minder, and it's called Mindless. But again, see, I don't really like the illustrations. So whenever that happened, it was just like such a shame that they weren't as good as the US ones. And then in August 1983, they brought out a Tootsie and Dark Crystal parody issue, which is pretty crazy. So you've got Mort Drucker, doing Tootsie Roll. And I apologise that I'm not really crediting the writers because, the writing was good, but I bought this for the illustrations. So that's why I'm kind of savouring that. Plus, we don't want this to be an hour long. And then you've got the Don Martin looks at Dark Crystal. So he's not the first person you think of for illustrating this, but it's his writing as well on that one. So you've got April 1983, and you've got Star Trek 2 and Annie. So again, I remember having this. I would have been 12 when I got this from the shop. The Wreck of Corn, Mort Drucker there. It's fantastic illustrations. I love the way he draws Ricardo Montalban and all of the cast, to be fair. What's her name? Kirstie Alley is drawn really well there as well. And then you've got Annie there by Angelo Torres with Dave Berg on the left there. This is another one I really, really distinctly remember getting. So I've had this for a long time. March 1983. E.T. is parodied. And QT, the Quasi-Terrestrial. This looks like Jack Davis. Yeah, Jack Davis did this one, which I quite like it. It's not like, as obviously those people, but there's some charm about the way he draws. August 1982, you've got Academy Awards being parodied and Mad Max 2, which is pretty good. So Mad Max 2 is easily one of my favourite films. Love it to death. But you've got Mort Drucker here doing the Academy Awards parody. Okay, we're getting really, going beyond the 80s in a second. You've got, the last one that I've got from the 80s is February 82, and it's Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is obviously a cultural big moment. And this is Jack Davis again. Can you see that? That you've got that distinctive style of Jack Davis. Raiders of the Lost Ark is called. A nice bit of wordplay. More Dave Berg. And you've got, at the end, you've got WK Rap in Cincinnati. So, WK, crap. A WKRP is what it's normally in Cincinnati. Yeah, this really takes me back, you know, when I read this when I was a kid. It really does. And then, okay, so we're now beyond the bit. Well, I was older and too young to buy this at the time, so these are the ones I've bought since then. So you've got March 1979, where there's a parody of Grease. Again, it's Mort Drucker, and I just love the way he draws this one. It's absolutely brilliant. So there's that. Then more of the same people that you're used to seeing. And then Lou Grant is parodied here at the end with Angelo Torres being the illustrator. So this is one that I've managed to get since then, and I really wanted it. This is the original Star Wars one. It doesn't have a date inside the magazine, but it's the original Star Wars being parodied, with Harry North being the illustrator. And then there's a thing at the end with Henry Winkler being in it, parodied, but not as Happy Days or something else. But again, with Harry North illustrating. And then lots of the other usual people that you expect to find there as well. And then this is one from March 1977. And this is only 2 issues before, so you can tell that the Star Wars one was in 1977. And this is Welcome Back, Kotter and The Omen. So The Ominous is the title of the Omen one. Again, that's Harry North. It's pretty good illustrations, I'd say. Pretty good caricatures going on there. And then you've got Angelo Torres doing the Welcome Back, Kotter stuff. And then you've got all the usual other people, Jack Davis and Don Martin and Dave Berg and Sergio Aragonés, all in that one. So again, this one doesn't have a date on it, but it's number 181, so it's 8 issues before that. So 1976, I would imagine. And it's got Starsky and Hutch parodied. Angelo Torres is the artist here. Harsky and Stutch is what they called it. And I love Starsky and Hutch. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's interesting. You've got Welcome Back, Kotter in this one as well. So that is an evidence here of how the American and the British editions have got different things in them. Because if you see, like, the Starsky and Hutch one is the British one, and the 50 cents there on the other one shows you that the one with the Omen in it is the American one. So that's kind of interesting. This is one that's got mad final episodes of some long-running TV shows. This is like them imagining what final episodes of MASH and Columbo, Gunsmoke, Kung Fu, those kind of things could be. So there's more Dave Berg, and then more Don Martin, more Spy vs. Spy. So this is less on the movie parody thing on this one. But that's not got a date on it either, but you can tell it's an old one. This is another one that doesn't have a movie parody on the front, but it's got a Mort Drucker parody of American Graffiti. That's pretty good. I love that film. And then at the end there is a parody, again, Angelo Torres. It seems to be that quite often you get one of each. And then you've got Don Martin and Spy vs. Spy, and the Sergio Aragonés Mad Marginals as well, of course. And then there's this one from April 74. Yeah, the Summer of 42 with Mort Drucker being the artist. Quite a long thing here at the back with Don Martin drawing it, but Lou Silverstone writing it. He was a regular writer of Mad. Okay, this one has got a parody of Catch-22 in it, which I think is a really, really good find. So this is Mort Drucker again, and Catch-All 22 is what they called it. All of the usual things again, with Dave Berg, Don Martin. Paul Coker Jr. actually is someone I haven't mentioned yet, but he's in quite a lot of these issues as well. This is Mort Drucker again, and it's Bob and Carol, Ted and Alice. That's it. That's what the film's called. Bob and Carol, Ted and Alice. It's a parody of that. It's quite an important kind of film of commenting on new changing values in sexual activity and all that. But you got all the sort of regular other people as well. But that's the main parody in this one. Okay, so this one is number 91, and it's got a kind of a parody of Wizard of Oz, imagining what it would be like in modern times. And then you've got more Dave Berg stuff. And then you've got a thing here, which is Mad's Foreign Film Producer of the Year. So it's taken a piss out of producers. And you can see Don Martin and Dave Berg are already in this right from the beginning. So, other than that, I've got 4 specials. There's Mad Bombs, 96 pages of explosive duds salvaged from past issues. So this has got all sorts of different things in it. Some of those specials just have quite a lot of parodies in them, so they're quite cool. 25 Years of British Mad, October 84. And then you've got a special Don Martin issue, which has got like 96 pages of Don Martin cartoons. And then a Mad book, a silly nonsense. You can see the quality of that isn't great. And I think that was me. I think I bought it in better condition. I think it's just got damaged over time, which is a shame. But this goes back to 1985. So there we are. It's quite a lot there. Let me know what you think and which ones you would be interested in reading if you are interested in reading it, or if you think this is just a load of nonsense. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, everybody.